So I just had breastfeeding support on the phone, and they're fab, literally called fab as well. They used to be called Little Angels, but they really helped me, as well as Home Start and the NHS family centres when I first started breastfeeding. But like she was saying, so I get a bit of pain on the left, but might just be the latch. And also apparently there's new positions now over the past few years that I could try as well. But she's feeding lots, and apparently day 3 to 6 she might be cluster feeding a lot. So they can feed like 8 to 12 times a day, or when they're cluster feeding even more. But it is amazing, and now I've got a sling, which is great because I can carry her and feed at the same time. But she is guzzling, but this, I'm still tidying, cleaning at the moment. This next to me cot is amazing. So yeah, for feeding and stuff. So I'm just sorting all that out now. But yeah, so far so good. Oh, and I shouldn't be properly expressing till 6 weeks, apparently. So, but my milk's come through, which is the good thing. So I just had a really helpful appointment with the breastfeeding counsellor, who's reminded me of some of the breastfeeding to-dos in terms of having the baby's body straight across your chest, almost like a belt, and then making sure her head really latches onto the whole breast rather than just the nipple area. So you want, so that you can't see the bottom of the areola, you want the bottom to be underneath, and also so that they're kind of making a movement. So sometimes because she's only a tiny little baby, I'm having to like position her myself, and actually it's been really helpful because also it's been so long since I've fed a newborn that you forget all these things. And obviously there's the rugby hold, there's cradling in your arms when the body's straight, so they're not like sipping on a straw that you've got, and it's like, you know, if you've got dents in the straw, it's actually, you can just sip on the straw full. So that's why I'm making sure her head's back, and that her cheeks are pressed in. You can see a bit of a double chin, and you can't see the corner of her mouth, and obviously her nose is clear. And she seems to be feeding well, and we've got to get used to cluster feeding soon to get my milk supply in. And that's what she'll be doing naturally, but there's no such thing as overfeeding a breastfed baby anyway. And it's just a helpful reminder to think of some of the cues, like when they go or they're moving around. So it's been really, really helpful. So this is breastfeeding support day 1. So we're on day 5. Little Athy has just had her heel prick test, but she did really well because she was breastfed through it. She was like, ah, and then went, as long as she'd got some more milk, she was okay. So our first night out with Athena, Fashion Week Yorkshire. I'm hosting it. Well, the first part anyway, because I'm only doing a little bit because obviously I've just had Athena and I want to get her home, but also give her a little tour out, little excursion. So she's wrapped up and ready. Papa is getting the mirror. Papa is getting the mirror in the car, isn't he? So let's go. So just setting up for Fashion Week Yorkshire. Everyone else is in hair and makeup. I'm prepping for the start with our Grace. I think she's getting dressed as well. I've come ready-made because I knew I'd have to get my backs out for this little one. And I'm so lazy nowadays. I do like getting my hair and makeup done, but I'm a bit of a 5-minute getting ready kind of person. But I have brought heels because otherwise it's Converse and everyone looks very glam. I feel very much like a man right now. Got a very glamorous babysitter here.
Just brushing up on my skills.
Yeah.
You never know.
Just be careful because she is looking for milk at any bosom.
Yeah, well, she best keep away from mine.
This is my co-host Grace, and we're getting ready for Fashion Week Yorkshire.
How exciting.
You're going to have to show me how to pose though.
Oh, I will do, don't worry.
Yeah, because normally mine's like...
I'll teach you
yeah, by the end of the day I'll be smouldering. We're all ready and raring to go. So I can't believe she's 1 week old, and yeah, she is feeding a lot, about 12 to 14 times a day, and then a lot throughout the night. She is sleeping a bit more now in the day for longer periods, but she's also going through like cluster feeds, feeding a lot, and then sleeping a bit longer as she grows and changes. But honestly, it's the most beautiful blonde bond ever. And And I do feel bad because I do feel sometimes like, oh, I have to take her off people to do it. But then I also think this relationship is so important, and the milk is so important for her to feed well. I am starting to express, even though they don't recommend it, just in case. I'm a bit of a just in case person, just in case anything happens. So there's always a backup. But yeah, it's going really well, and Danny's getting into the flow of it as well. I thought I had to deal with her, where I said, right, I give you unlimited milk, girl, and then you go to Papa for a cuddle and a poo. But then as soon as I said that, now she just feeds and poos on me, and then goes to Papa for all the nice cuddles. But we're enjoying it. We're getting used to it. Obviously, both of us have different styles of parenting, but do you know what? We're both mushy as. And I feel so lucky, because at the end of the day, however you parent, as long as you lead by love and absolute care and adoration for your kids, you can't hopefully go much wrong. And sometimes, it's tough love as they get older, but it's just leading by love. And I just feel so blessed. Anyway, sending you all so much peace, love, and shimmies. And I best get back to feeding because my boobs are twinging, because I can feel it when she needs a feed.